Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, please go ahead and subscribe so you can stay in touch and see whatever videos I upload next. And if you've been part of the community for a while, please go ahead and like and comment. Let me know what you think of this video or what videos you'd like to see next. And without further ado, this video is basically going to be off the top of my mind, things that I think will be tremendously helpful while you're traveling in Japan, especially if you're traveling here for the first time. The first thing I recommend is flying into Haneda Airport. I think it's a little bit easier than Narita Airport, and it's more accessible to the things around Tokyo or connecting airports. So I recommend flying in or out of Haneda. I just think that's way easier as far as travel is concerned. The second thing, speaking of travel, is this is my Suica card. I'm covering up my name. It's about the size of a credit card, and there's more than one variety of basically train IC cards. You can use those to purchase your train tickets. So what you'll do is you will charge money onto your card. I'm gonna add a video into this, like right here. You can click on it if you want to know how to put money on your card. Basically, I just did a quick video showing how to do that. You'll basically use Japanese yen and then put it into the machine, charge up your card, and then you'll be able to pay for your train that you're taking. Usually you will swipe your card when you enter the station and when you exit your station. If you want to check the balance on your card, so how much of a balance is remaining on your card, you can do that at the little kiosk, again, for this video here. The other important thing to note is when you're taking trains, Google is a really helpful tool that you can use. I use Google Maps all the time to help me know which train I need to get off at, or if I need to transfer. Google will usually show you what station you're currently at. So if you're currently at Yokohama Station, it'll kind of bold or make those letters more noticeable, so you'll know which station you're at. So if you turn on Google Maps while you're traveling, it'll show you each station you're progressing through, and that'll help you keep track of where you're at. Also, a lot of times Google will show you the fare for your train. So for example, if you're traveling from, this is just random numbers, not the actual cost, right? But let's say that you're traveling from Tokyo to Osaka by train, right? And it's gonna cost you 10,000 yen, right? Google, if you type in directions and you put the station, let's say you're leaving Tokyo Station and you're gonna arrive in a station in Osaka, right? If you plug in the stations into Google and then show for the directions, you can allow in your settings, if it doesn't show automatically, usually it shows automatically, you can see the toll, the fare, how much it's gonna cost for you to go from one place to another. And toll, I don't know why that word came to mind, but toll is another thing that is helpful. So if you're driving in Japan, for me, because I'm here more long-term, I kind of have a license to be able to drive, which is not really super relevant. But I think AAA has an international license, and I believe this because I called on behalf of friends to the Tokyo go-kart company that does the go-kart tours where you see people dressed up in costumes, and they said that they asked for that license. I will go ahead and put the name here, if that's correct. I'm gonna double check. And I'll also put in the description that company, so you can look into that if you're interested in driving here. If you do drive here, the fastest way to get around is toll roads. Toll roads kind of let you take the most direct route. You do have to pay for those. If you've been here for a long time, you probably will have access to an ETC card. A lot of times those are already in the car. If you get a rental car, then you should ask and confirm if there's already one available. If there's not, you can just, again, pay with yen. If you're paying with yen though, you should stick to the lanes that have the green, it's a big green circle over it. green means money. So if you know that you don't have an ETC card, then you should just stick to the green light lanes and you'll be good. And then the other thing is traveling with bags, like through stations or like around, like through cities. I think Japan is a super safe place to do that. However, if you're doing that all day long and it's gonna be like weighed down with all your stuff, you're probably gonna get a backache. If you're anything like me, you'll definitely get a backache. So sometimes, like if I overpack, my back, my knees will be hurting a lot. So usually if I know I'm only gonna be traveling for a little bit, I just bring this backpack. I got it here in Japan. It has a ton of pockets. I got it from just like a random store in Yamaguchi Prefecture. It's great. I think pretty much any backpack will work just fine, but I wouldn't overload it. The other thing is most hotels are gonna have like very simple toiletries. So maybe like toothbrush, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and towels. So that way you kind of like already know, like if you don't mind using hotel brand of those items, maybe you could just skip those or pack less of those items, especially if you know you're going to be carrying bags around with you a lot. The other thing you could do is bring a luggage with you that has wheels. I would definitely not recommend like a strap, like shoulder strap duffel bag that's really heavy. Usually that ends up being really painful as well. I have found Airbnb and hotels both to be super helpful. Usually if I'm looking for hotels here in Japan, I will check the ratings and reviews and then just kind of like see what people are talking about, especially recently. And then also see if the hotel or like accommodation is responding quickly to whatever the inquiry or request was. If the hotel is responding in like a courteous and friendly manner and it seems the problem was resolved, I still might be interested in it even if the review is not perfect. The other thing is if you're trying to travel on the cheap, you could look into capsule hotels, although a lot of times capsule hotels is going to be like one person per capsule. Or you could look into internet cafes. We stayed at an internet cafe in Yokosuka and that was nice. I'll include the short here. That was nice, but if you're looking for like a very like luxurious, like comfortable stay, internet hotels may not be the way to go. They're super cool. I would definitely recommend them if you're like an adventurous traveler. I feel like it was kind of like crashing on a friend's couch. They did though have free blankets, like free little like slippers that you could use while you were there. And then you were able to get like, I think unlimited drinks, including the drink machine was able to make like hot drinks for you. Like if you wanted like a matcha latte or coffee, which was good. So definitely don't sleep on internet cafes if you're trying to travel in the cheap. The other thing is there are love hotels in Japan. They kind of like have a reputation that supersedes them. But we've stayed in a love hotel before. We didn't record there because we were super busy because we were looking for our house at the time. But it was a really, really pleasant experience. So I think love hotels might be a nice option too. It's just a lot of them don't really accommodate for advanced reservations because they're kind of like supposed to be a discreet option if you need like a rendezvous point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So not all of them do reservations. So that's something that you might want to think about. The other thing if you're traveling to Japan is, although I love Tokyo, I absolutely love Tokyo. My anniversary is coming up and I'm looking at going to Tokyo for that potentially. Don't just only stick to Tokyo. There's some amazing places outside of Tokyo to visit. So if you're thinking like Tokyo might not quite be your speed or you're worried about maybe like the cost or going to some of the most iconic places in Japan, other places that I visited and personally love are Osaka, Okinawa. We enjoyed Nagasaki. Where else would I recommend? Hiroshima. Those are some other places that I would really, really recommend if you want to visit Japan and you're kind of like, I want to visit Tokyo, but maybe I don't want to stay there, or you just want to look into some other places to stay besides Tokyo. Some places that are on my list, besides the places that I already listed, are Kyoto, and I'm kind of looking at Enoshima, but I'm vegetarian, so if you have specific eating requirements, you might want to look into what that place has to offer. Osaka has a huge range of food, so if you have any specific dietary needs, Osaka would be a good place to visit. I also recommend Tokyo for that. And Okinawa actually has a lot of diversity in the food that they have available there. Plus, Okinawa is really, really beautiful, and I feel like it's also underrated. But it's not really connected to mainland Japan, so if you're visiting to Okinawa specifically and you're like, oh yeah, I've heard everything about Okinawa and I definitely want to visit there, just understand that if you want to visit Tokyo as well, you're probably gonna have to like take an airplane or maybe like a cruise or something, because you're not gonna be able to just easily drive up to Tokyo. It's not gonna be convenient or possible. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to just drive up to Tokyo. You're gonna have to take like a plane or a boat or something to go to Tokyo. And other than that, I think the only other thing that I forgot to mention that I think is helpful is that one time we were traveling and we were overloaded with stuff, and my husband found like a little locker at the station that you can rent and store your luggage in, and you basically like rent the locker. When you come back, you retrieve your stuff. I think that's really helpful if you know that you have too much stuff, but for whatever reason you're gonna just like use the station, go someplace and come right back, and you don't want to carry all your luggage with you. Some stations might have something like that, so that also might be something to look into. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all of my tips for traveling in Japan that I can think of right off the top of my head. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you planning your trip to Japan. And other than that, I hope you guys had fun. If you like this type of content, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If I forgot anything, please add that in the discussion. I've only been here 3 years altogether, and 2 of those years were in Okinawa. So if there's something I forgot, or if you're a subject matter expert in Japan, then please go ahead and comment, and maybe I can learn from you too. Other than that, bye!